In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the heater core on the Chevy Equinox. This is going to be inside the dash in the HVAC control box. Let's get into it. Before you start this job, you want to make sure that you bring the vehicle to a local shop to have the AC refrigerant extracted from the vehicle. We're going to remove the front seats. You need to move the seat up so that you can access the base of the seat belt. Use a T30 socket, take this screw out, take that out, and you may need a straight blade screwdriver just to separate the cover right here. There you go. This is just a retainer for the screw. This is mostly for installation purposes. If you want to put that on after, you can. And take the seat belt, push down, slide it out of the way. Now we're going to move the seat all the way forward so that we can access the two bolts in the back. In the back, we're going to use a T50 socket. Take these two bolts out. Take those out, and when you move the seats backwards to about there, you're going to make sure the seat's all the way down, maybe recline it back a little bit. Now we're going to pick the seat up, tip it up, and then slide it back. There's feet in the front that go into some slots. Then you can tip it back just like this. Then at this point, you want to get the passenger seat in the same position. Do the same, take the bolts out, back it up, and slide it back. Then we're going to disconnect the battery to disable the airbag system. We're going to disconnect the battery. Just take this cover off the negative terminal. Use a 10mm socket. Loosen up this nut. Different vehicles have a certain amount of time that you should wait after disconnecting the negative cable before you disconnect any of those yellow connectors. For instance, this vehicle requires over 2 minutes. I'll disconnect the connector right here. There's a little lock tab. Just push that back. I'm just going to use a straight blade screwdriver and push on the tab and slide the connector out. This may have been attached down below here, so you're going to do that there. Do the same on the other side. And now we're just going to remove the seat. Just be careful. Try not to scratch anything on the doors. And you're going to do the same on the other side. And pop this cover up. Just use a straight blade screwdriver. You can see there's a nut right there. Use a 10mm socket. Take that nut out. Do the same on the other side. And on the side panels, we're going to reach under here. We're going to pull these off. There's just push pins holding these in. You can use a trim tool if you need to. You should just be able to pull it. There is a push pin on the front on the driver's side. We're going to have to pull that off. I'm just using a trim tool. Take this push pin out. Pop that out. And pull the panel off. And repeat this step on the other side. Now we're going to take this trim piece off. You have to take it off from the bottom first. I'm just going to use a trim tool. Just get underneath here. I'm going to use 2 trim tools. Just try to pull it out a little bit. Just try to get underneath it. Pick it up. Pick it up and pull it out. Trying not to damage it. There we go. Once it moves a little bit, then you can grab it and just pull it straight back. You can see the clips in there, and it slides in the base. We're going to take this panel off. Use a 7mm socket. Take these screws out. Go into the other side. We're going to disconnect the shifter. There's the cable right here. Just pop this off. I'm just using a pick right there. You want to be careful, you don't want to move this. It should be locked either way, but just be careful. When you pop this off, be careful not to push this in. That's going to shift the transmission. It's not going to be locked. It's a good idea to put the parking brake on or chuck the wheels at this point so that you don't move it by accident. And where the cable is secured over here, there's a little button right here. You want to slide that and slide it up. It's out of the way. And using a 10mm socket, we'll take these bolts out on the sides. One in here. Pull that out. And there's one more in there. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Just grab the center console, pull up on the back, just slide it out. Just move that out of the way a little bit. And you can see where the wire goes down underneath the carpet here. There's a couple connectors. Disconnect this connector, just push on the tab. Might need a pick or a straight blade screwdriver. Just get under there, disconnect that. With the bigger connector, you're going to push in the center here, ratchet that back, pull that off. Then the whole center console is loose. You can take that out of the vehicle and out of the way. On the hood release cable handle, you're going to pull this back, use a straight blade screwdriver or a pick, and there's a little lever that you have to get underneath. It is pretty fragile, so be careful. Pry it back, and then you're going to push this forward. Take that out of the way. This is where the lever should be, underneath there. This one's broken. Using a 7mm socket, take these screws out. Good. Grab the panel and just pull it towards the back of the vehicle. It's out of the way. We're going to remove this panel, use a 10mm socket. Take these bolts out. Take that off. We're going to take this screw out, use a T20 socket. We're going to take this top off, just grab underneath here, just pull up. It's going to separate. Just separate those panels. Now we're going to have to turn the steering wheel to be able to get the screws out of the bottom panel. So we're going to put the key in, turn it to the right, and then just turn the wheel. We can access that screw there. Turn it a little more, and we can access that screw there. Use a T20 socket, take this screw out. Pull that screw out. Just grab that panel, that comes off. We'll turn the wheel. You can see the other screw there. Take that screw off. Then we want to turn the wheel back to straight. And then you can look outside and make sure your wheels are going straight. Take the key, take that key out, and just grab the lower panel and pull that down. You can separate it in the back. It just slides out. Where this fabric is in between the upper cover for the steering column, you're just going to push up, separate that. You can do that on both sides. Just try to get that off. And this cover, slide off. Just slide it off the wiper stock. We're going to disconnect the connectors for the wiring harness. Just take this little lock tab, push this back. I'm just using a pick. Slide that out, then you can push down, take the connector off. This connector, you just push the little tab that goes through the clock spring. This one for the wiper switch, push on the tab on the bottom. And on the turn signal side, there's a little tab, push that. Those are good. Now we got harnesses underneath. Disconnect this connector. This little tab here, just pop that back with a pick or a screwdriver. And then you can push down right there. Disconnect that. That's for the ignition switch. And the connector right here, this is for the lock. You just push down on the tab back there. Slide that one out. And this connector here, you can use a little pick if you need to. Just get under here. Just pry out a little bit, disconnect that. Disconnect this connector underneath. If you take a pick on the back side, at the top of where the connector is, there's a little tab. You can push on that tab and disconnect it. You're just trying to push on that right there. Then you can disconnect that. Now all the harnesses are out of the way. Take this bolt out here, use a 7mm socket. That out. There's a clip right here, push on that, pull that down. There may be some connections in between here. This one's just wire tied. There's a clip over here, and then there's a push pin. Take that push pin out, just use a trim tool. Pop that off. When this is tipped down, you can see there's a nut right there. We're going to use a 10mm socket. That nut off and pull that shield out of the way. Before we disconnect the base of the steering column, we want to be sure that the steering wheel isn't going to rotate while it's disconnected. There is a steering lock, but just to be sure, we're going to use some wire ties. And then I'm going to go around the turn signal stalk just so it doesn't spin. You could also do it around the wiper stalk if you want to. There we go, not too tight, but that's just going to prevent it from rotating around when it's out of the vehicle. Using a 11mm socket, take this bolt off for the intermediate shaft. Bolt out, grab the shaft, should be able to slide this out. I'm just going to use a trim tool, just try to spread this a little bit, slide it off. Because the intermediate shaft is splined and not keywayed, you want to mark where this came off. So I'm just going to make a mark where the slot goes, just using a marker. So just keep in mind that's in the center. As you slide this down, you can make another mark, just so it's a little more accurate. So like right there. Because you can see that moves a little bit. Slide that down. And that's as far as that's going to go. Now we're going to take the steering column out. Using a 13mm socket, take the nuts off. There's two in the back. And then two in the front. When you take the front ones out, the whole column is going to fall, so you want to just hold it up. Make sure it's locked. If you have the adjuster unlocked, you want to make sure that's locked. Take those out. steering column. It's going to come down and slide it out. We're going to take these bolts out for the center bracket. Use a 13mm socket. Take those out. Then on the other side, you want to take those out as well. And take that bracket. It slides right out. Now this wiring harness back here, we're going to have to take this off. There's a little lock right here. Push that back. Push down on the button. And then move the lever. That's going to disconnect that connector. And the retainer right here, just use some needle nose pliers. Just squeeze that, pull that through. Just follow it back. You see the other harness connects to this harness. I'm going to pop that up. Just use a trim tool, get underneath. Just pop that up. The other retainer. And there's another retainer right here. We'll just pop this off. I think this is going to come off with the dash anyway, but just in case. And then there's a retainer there. Pop that off. We are going to have to separate that from the airbox anyway. So take that off. Disconnect this ground wire. I'll just use a 10mm socket. Take that off. Take the ground wire off. And you can label a baggies to keep all the fasteners, or if you want to use different cups for different areas of the vehicle so you don't get confused, because at the end of this job you're going to have a lot of fasteners. So that's one tip that's going to help you out. We just use multiple magnet trays and just separate them throughout to help us out. So save that. And I'll just take a pocket screwdriver. And just right here, there's a little tab. Push that tab down. And push the fuse box out of this bracket. Push that out. And there's a tab on the other side. Same way. You can get behind. Push that out. Twist it sideways and pull it through. We're just separating that just so it doesn't break, because you might put a little bit of weight on this. And take this piece. This is one of the ducts that goes to the rear. Just push it down. Push that to the side. And then push it forward. Just get it out of the way. Take this trim off. Just get under here with a trim tool. Just pop this up. There's just clips holding it on. This here, this piece is going to move towards the side, towards the middle. Just pop that out with the trim tool. A couple push pins in there. So it pops up in the back and in. Underneath, you can see this big harness that comes in from the firewall. You want to follow that back and you can see it connected to the BCM. Disconnect those connectors. You just push down on the tabs, just like that. Disconnect all of those. And further down, you can see this big connector. Disconnect that. Just push down on the tab. Release that, just like that. That's good. Now we'll take these trim pieces off. Just get underneath. Just using a trim tool. Just pop these up. This panel's going to go up. This panel is going to come off to the side. Need to use a trim tool, pop that out. see, just like the other side. See the connectors on the side. Just push down, ratchet that back. Disconnect that. There's another connector here. Tabs over here. Disconnect that. That's good. And open the glove box. We're going to pop this out. There's a little tab at the top. You just got to push it up, and then it rocks down further. And just grab it on the sides. Just pull it up, and it comes out. Underneath, use a 7mm socket. Take these screws out. That's another one. Underneath, there's one more screw. Same 7mm socket. Pull that out. Grab the panel and pull it down. I'm going to take the A-pillars off. Just take a trim tool. Just get at the top. Pull those out. They're just clipped in. When you pull this out, there is a tether right here. This is to prevent panels from coming out when the airbags go off, the curtain airbags. And you have to take this out. What I did was using some needle nose pliers. You can go in through here, and you're going to grab the top, and you have to turn this 90 degrees. It's like a key, so that that can go out the slot, and turn it back, and then you push that out the slot, and then you can separate that. And then going in is the same way. You could try to grab it from down here and twist it 90 degrees, and pull it out. But that's what you're going to have to do. Then grab the A-pillar. We'll just pull up. And you're going to see where there's a speaker that's connected. I'm going to disconnect the speaker. Just push down on the tab. You can pull it off. Push on the tab and separate that. We're going to do the same on the other side. Near the gas pedal, we're going to take these two bolts out that are going to hold this module on. Use a 10mm ratchet wrench. If you can fit a socket in there, you can use that, but it's a little bit tight. And we'll take that top one out as well. Take that out. And grab the module. And just slide it down a little bit. And you can see there's a couple connectors on this module. Disconnect those connectors. Push down on the tab. That's one. There we go. Okay, just push down on that tab. You can see there's other wires connected higher up. Just pull the module out a little further. We'll disconnect these connectors. Push on the tab. Slide those out. Set that aside. I'm going to disconnect the accelerator pedal connector. I'm just going to use a pick. There's a little lock tab on there. Push that back. And then push down on the tab. Slide the connector out. That's good. Now we're going to disconnect the brake light switch. Just pull back on the lock tab. Push that down, disconnect that. And you can see these other connectors to this little module. Just disconnect those. The blue one. The pink one doesn't go anywhere, so we don't have to disconnect that. And then the gray one, take those off. There's a little retainer here. Pop that retainer off. Slide that off the sheet metal right there. Way. On this bracket, we're going to take this bolt out. We're going to use a 13mm socket. Take that bolt out. In the back, there's two nuts on this side, two nuts over here. We'll take those off. Use a 13mm socket. Those off. Remove this engine cover. Take the oil fill cap out. Right here there's a screw. Use a T30 socket. Pull that screw out. Just grab the cover and pull it straight up. I'm just going to put the oil cap back on just so nothing falls down in there. And using a 13mm socket, we're going to take the AC lines off that go to the evaporator, evap core. Just take this nut off. 13mm socket. And I'll just grab a magnet for the nut. Take that off. I'm going to grab the lines, pull these back. And we'll just pull these out of the way. That's good right there. There it is. We're going to take these coolant hoses off. I'm going to use a hose clamp pliers. I'm going to use some hose pliers. Just grab the hose, wiggle it back and forth, and just pull it off. There we go. I just pulled the clamp off, and it's easier to take the hose off. And make sure you have a drain bucket underneath, because you're going to have some coolant come out. Now we're going to take this hose clamp off. And we'll do the same to the bottom. Hose pliers, give it a wiggle, back and forth. Just pry it off. Just trying to get the clamp off of the hose, just to make it easier. Pull the hose off. Just pushing the clamp forward, just using a pry bar. There we go. All right, pull that hose off. And we can pull the clamp off as well. There we go. I'm going to take out the expansion valve. We're going to use a T25 socket. Take that bolt out, and I'll take the other side out. Just so it doesn't fall, I'm just going to grab it. Pull that screw out. Grab the valve, pull that forward, and then you just have this block. There we go, just taking that block off. It's a good idea to take the seals off. You want to replace those seals. Pull those off. And up top, you can see there's another nut. We want to use a 10mm socket. Take that nut off. Pull that off. There's a panel right here. I'm just going to get under here with a pick. You just pull it up. It's just clipped in, and then there's a tab in the back. And using a 13mm socket, There's a bolt down in here. You want to take that bolt out. And use a magnet, take that bolt out. There's a cover right here. Just get under there with a pick. I'm using a 13mm socket. There's a nut in here. We just need to loosen this. There is a slot in the bracket, so the dash is gonna slide past the slot. But just loosen this pretty good. But we don't have to take the nut off. And we're gonna take this cover off. Just use a pick, get in the back, pop it up. And there's a bolt down here. We're gonna use a 13mm socket. I'm gonna take that bolt out. And use a magnet, take that bolt out. Now these side covers, just use a trim tool, get under there. And just pull these off. Just come right out. We'll do the same on the other side. Now on the sides, we're going to take these bolts out, use a 13mm socket. And there's a 10mm socket up here. On the other side, we're going to take these two bolts out, use a 13mm socket. Take those out. And right above the gas pedal, going towards the back of the vehicle, you're going to use a ratchet and a 10mm socket. Take this bolt out. Just take that one out. We want to disconnect these connectors. This one, you just go in the back, pull that tab, just push that down. These two are a little more difficult. You want to just get behind here, pull the retainer off. Just use a trim tool, then you can work with them a little bit more. And disconnect the connector, just push down on the tab. Slide those off. All right, I have an assistant here to help me pull the whole dash out on the driver's side. I'm just gonna grab, and I'm just gonna pull a little bit forcefully. It's popped in a little bit and upwards, and now we can do the same on the passenger. And now we're just gonna try to pick it up a little bit. And then we're just gonna set it aside on some soft boxes, or you can put some towels down just to support it. Now with the dash propped out of the way of the firewall, we can access this panel. We're gonna use a 1/4" drive or a 1/4" socket. Take these two screws out. There's one, there's another one over here. Just pull that out, and there's a clip on the bottom. Pull the clip up, and that slides off. And you can see the heater core right here. You can just grab it and slide it out. And it comes right out. Now we're going to put the insulation around the heater core. If you look at the old one, you can see how it goes. We're just going to go around with the bigger piece. Take the backing off. It's going to go around the base and come back up on the side. Just like that. There's a smaller strip for around the top. Go around the center there. Around to the back. And just get this lined up. That's good. All the way around. Now take the new heater core and just line this up. Same way it came out. cover and just put that over. It's going to clip in the base. And push in place. Take the screws, get those started. And we'll tighten these down. All right, that's snug. That's snug. One of these push clips stayed in the vehicle, so we're just going to pop this out just with a trim tool. And that can be installed on the back side of the dash. It's just going to slide in here, lock in place, and if you have any of the other ones that fell out, put those in place. Now you want to raise the dash with your assistant. You want to tip the top part down towards the windshield a little bit. Try to get the pins lined up and just work it back and forth. You're going to try to get the hoses underneath lined up. You might have to check from outside. Make sure those look good. And be careful of this bracket. We actually got stuck underneath it and that was holding us up. So you want to make sure that bracket goes above this bracket that has the brakes and the gas pedal. And make sure these studs line up. Once you get this bracket lined up, it goes in pretty smoothly. And you want to connect these connectors. Just get that lined up. Connect that and the other one. Lock those in place. You can push the push pins back in. Right there and right there. And this connector in the back. Get that lined up. And connect that. Now take the bolts. Get those started. I'll tighten these down. Take the bolts, get these started. Tighten these down. Take the nuts, get those started. Through this bracket. And snug this down. That's good. And the bolts up top. Get this lined up. Tighten that down. Now tighten this nut down. Snug that down and do the same on the other side. Get this bolt in. And tighten that down. Take these covers, get these lined up, push those on. And in the middle here, get this cover on. Lock it down. And the other side. Lock it down. Now outside the vehicle, we're going to get the nuts on that we took off, where the heater box comes through the firewall. Get that started. and the bottom nut. Now tighten the nuts down. Snug that down, and the top one. Snug that down. Now take the hose. Make sure you get the hose clamp over. You can put the lower hose on. There we go. Got it. Just push it on. Now the top hose. Do the same. Get the clamp on. Get it lined up. And push it all the way on. There we go. Yep, that's all the way around. Bottom one looks good, top one looks good. I'll put the seals on for the AC. Put new seals on. And this piece is going to go on. So you're just going to go kind of behind the brake booster. Get the top part in and slide it over to the bottom like that. And the expansion valve. Get that lined up. Put the bolts in. All right. Now I'm going to torque these bolts to 89 inch-pounds. Right, that's good. And put the new seal on the other line. Right there. Get that lined up. Same with the top line. We could get a new seal there. Oh, we're losing a little bit of oil. That lower one lined up. Put the nut on. I'll tighten that down. And I'm going to torque that to 15 foot-pounds. We're going to take the oil cap off, get the cover lined up, push that down, put the oil cap back on, take the bolts, get that started, and tighten that down. Snug that down. Take the A-pillars, connect the speaker, get that in the bracket if you need to, if it popped out. You can take this clip off. You can try to get under there with a trim tool, but there's a couple clips holding it on. I'm just using a pick in these two areas. You can kind of pull those clips back. You can see on the back side, you're just getting in there with the pick and just moving that clip back, and then you can take this retainer out. We're going to reinsert this into the A-pillar. Just slide this through. Slide it through the top. Then you twist it. You can use some pliers if you need to. Get that through the top. Now that's locked in place. And then we'll clip this in. That's clipped in. Get this all lined up. Secure it down. Make sure the weather stripping is on the outside. Just pull that up. That's good. We'll do the same on the other side. These side covers. Get these lined up. Lock them in place. And same on the other side. push it in place. Now take this bolt, reach up. I'm going to put it in the bracket. It's going to go towards the back of the vehicle. Get that started. I'm going to tighten that down. It's going through there, right there. I'll snug that up. Connect these connectors. And then the brake switch connector. Push that in, lock it down. I'm going to slide the module up that goes right here. I'll connect these connectors to this module. Before we slide it in, it's going to be a little bit easier. It's the maroon one, goes right here. And the brown one, we're going to slide that in once it's in place. And you can see the connector for the accelerator pedal. I'm going to plug that when it's in place as well. Slide this module in place up top. Get the bolt holes lined up. You want to connect the brown connector to the module. That's locked in place. That's good. That's good, like that. And take the two bolts, get those started. This gray connector is going to go right here. Connect that, get this lined up, click it in place, push down on the lock. I'll connect the connector for the dash harness, get that lined up, ratchet that down, and there's a retainer right there. We're just going to slide that in place. Take all these connectors, these are going to go to the BCM. Over here, they only go in one place. So they're not going to fit in the wrong place. Just connect those the way they came out. In the wiring harness, you really can't overlap them. It goes the way the wiring harness was, so that's good. Take the fuse box, slide it through the bracket. Be careful, some of the edges are sharp. Get this lined up in the bracket. There we go. That'll click in place. That's good. The ground wire. It's going to go right here. There is a retainer back here. Attach that and put the nut on. Snug that down. Make sure that's tight. And follow the wiring harness down. It's going to attach to this module here. Lock that in place and then push down on the lock. Follow it back. You got a retainer right here. Push that in place. That looks good right there. Now take the steering column. Get this lined up. We're going to go over the studs. But before we do that, before we put one of the nuts on, we're going to get the intermediate shaft lined up. So pull this back a little bit. Get it lined up with the marks you made. Looks good right there. lined up. And take the nuts, get the nuts started, get those started. All right, snug those down. And we're going to torque these to 16 foot-pounds. Now take the intermediate shaft bolt. You want to replace this bolt with a new one. Get that started. Snug that down. And we'll torque this bolt to 25 foot-pounds. That's good. Now we can take the wire ties off because the intermediate shaft is connected. Just disconnect that. Just use some side cutters. Now you want to connect the wires in the correct locations. There you go. And the other connector. Push the lock in. This connector is going over here for the windshield wipers. And the connector's underneath. Push the lock in. Get those all lined up. And this one right here. Lock it down. Just make sure the wires are out of the way. Now we're going to get the steering wheel covers on. We're going to take the right side lower one. We have to put the key in the ignition, turn the wheel that way, pull the key out, and there's a pin right there. That's going to go in this slot right here. So you got to get this lined up. Right there, just like that. And while we're there, we're going to put that screw in. Get that started. And just snug that down. And put the key back in, turn the wheel the opposite way so that we can do the other one, so you can see where the bolt or the screw is going to go. And I'll put this on. All right, that's tight. And underneath, get that started. Snug that down and straighten out the wheel. Make sure the column is lowered. And now do the top. Go over the wiper stock. Just get that past the steering wheel. It's lined up. This lined up. Just push it down. Lock it in place. And the fabric in the back. Just get that lined up. Just get the push pins lined up. And push those down in place. I'm going to take this panel, get this started. and snug these down. Now take this shield underneath, get that lined up on that stud. Take the nut, get that started, and tighten that down. Push this up, and you want to clip this in. That's good. And take this screw in the middle, get that started, tighten that down. Snug it down. Put the push pin in, lock that down. Take the cable for the hood release. You want to go through into this cover, lock that in place, get the cover lined up, push that down. And we got 2 screws, and put the screws in. Snug that down. And over here, snug that down. Now I take this lower trim piece, get this lined up. Oops. It's lined up. And just get the weather strip lined up. Push that down. And I take this lower ducting, get this lined up. It's going to go in the center. Get the wires out of the way. Push it back. Here, pull this up a little bit. Just trying to get this around. There we go. Move that forward. Carpet's going to go on top. Wiring harness looks good. And this wire, there's a push pin right here in the middle. Retainer. Push that in. Right there, that's good. Now take this bracket. This cable's going to go through here. Bracket lined up. There we go. That's lined up. Take the bolts. The bolts started. We'll tighten these down. Snug those down, and repeat this step on the other side. Connect the connectors on the side. This one lined up. Ratchet that down. And put this panel on. Get this lined up. Down. Take this panel, line this up, and take couple screws over here. Get these started. Snug that down over here. And one in the back here. This is the one that's a little more coarse thread. Let's take the glove box. There is clips on the back bottom part that are going to go over these rods. Get those lined up. And push it. And make sure it closes nice. And take the center console. Get that back lined up. Take the connector, get this lined up, ratchet that down, this other connector, get this lined up, goes like that, and just put that under the carpet to the side. Make sure the transmission shift cable gets pushed up. To get that kind of lined up. I'll just push it forward. And get this lined up. Push it onto the shifter. That's good. And then push this down. Lock that in place. That's good. Just make sure the center console is pushed forward. Then this little bracket popped off, so you want to push that on. Get these nuts started. And tighten those down. Do the same on the other side. Push that cap down. And this is going to be a bolt right there. Bolt in there. Also, one up in here. And tighten those down. Make sure those are tight. Then we'll do the same on the other side. Now this panel is going to go on the side. Get this lined up. Just get this lined up. Clip it in place. Up front, there's a push pin. You want to get that lined up. And line that push pin up. Push it in. Now we're going to do the same on the other side. Put these screws in the side here. Snug those down. And get this panel lined up. Lock it down in place. It's good. And do the same thing on the other side. Now we're going to get the seats back in. Just carefully try not to scratch anything. You want to get the front part of the seats lined up with the slots. You can see these hooks, those are going to go in those slots. So you're going to tip up the back of the seat. Ready? Get the front lined up. You know if it's lined up if you go to the front and you try pulling it up and it's in place. Then we'll tip the seat up so that we can grab the connector, connect the connector. And we want to do that to both sides before we connect the battery. Connect the connector, push down on the lock. If it popped out of the retainer, you want to push that back in. There we go. And And then you want to do the same on the other side. I'm gonna take the negative terminal, attach it to the battery, and snug this down. Give it a wiggle, make sure it's tight, and put the cover on. And move the seat all the way forward so that you can get the bolts in. Get those started. There we go. Now we'll torque these to 33 foot-pounds. That's good. And we can do the same on the other side. Now connect the seat belt. Make sure it's not twisted. Slide that in place. You have to, there's almost like a keyway at the bottom. Push that down, and then you want to pull it up so that lines up. Push the cover over, and then the bolt's going to go through there. Get that started. Snug that down first. And we're going to torque that to 66 inch-pounds. And we can do the same on the other side. With a funnel, I'm going to top off the coolant system with the appropriate type of coolant. Make sure it's a 50-50 mixture. Once it's at the full line, you can take the funnel out. You can start the vehicle, let it run for a minute before you put the cap back on. Just double check, make sure the coolant level is still up there if you need to add a little bit. And put the cap on. Run the engine for about 15-20 minutes, monitoring the engine temperature, make sure it's not overheating, and you should have a little bit of warmth coming out because the coolant's going through the heater core at this time. Shut the vehicle off. Once it cools down, then double check the level and adjust accordingly. After you're done the job, you want to make sure you bring the vehicle back to that shop where you had the refrigerant extracted and have them recharge the system.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.